We know that the government is buying hotels to put these illegal immigrants in now. So in my constituency, I have an illegal immigrant hotel, as you know. I campaigned hard on it in the by-election. Because of the private landlord scheme that you've introduced, whereby private landlords, if they give up their properties for 5 years, get guaranteed rent, all repairs done, British people, my residents in Runcorn and Helsby, are being issued with Section 21 notices to get out of their accommodation, and illegal immigrants have been moved in. None of this lot are getting deported. None of them are getting sent home unless we're out of the European Court of Human Rights, and that's what reform will do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, where we strip away the spin and take an honest look at the headlines surrounding the British royal family. If you believe that actions should speak louder than staged photos, and that real leadership means standing up for those who need it most, you're in the right place. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, because here we'll always bring you the stories that others shy away from. Today, we're going to explore one of the most striking examples of how performative activism can be dressed up as genuine leadership. Prince William's much-hyped homelessness campaign known as Homewards. What started as an apparent attempt to tackle a national crisis is now facing growing criticism as the public begins to see through the carefully polished image. At the heart of this unraveling narrative is journalist Sarah Pochin, whose recent exposé has pulled back the curtain on what many are now recognizing as little more than royal theater. Her work is a breath of fresh air in a media environment that too often protects the royal brand at the expense of truth. Let's not downplay the issue at hand. Homelessness across the UK is at crisis levels. More families are being forced out of their homes, the number of rough sleepers is growing, and local authorities are stretched beyond capacity. This is a social emergency that demands bold action and systemic change. Prince William launched Homewards with great fanfare, promising to be a modern royal taking on modern problems. But instead of leading the way with impactful advocacy or concrete solutions, his efforts have amounted to little more than staged engagements designed to boost his personal image. We've seen ribbon-cutting ceremonies, staged moments of concern, glossy media appearances, all calculated to generate good press without upsetting the status quo. Sarah Pochin's reporting lays this bare. There's no evidence that Homewards is addressing the root causes of homelessness, such as government cuts to housing benefits, corporate greed in property development, or systemic inequalities. In fact, these critical issues go unmentioned in the campaign, with William instead opting for the safe route of raising awareness without challenging those in power. Meanwhile, the UK government continues to make cuts that worsen the crisis. Property developers profit off the backs of struggling families. Councils are unable to meet demand. And amidst all this, William, someone with unparalleled access to policymakers, chooses to remain silent on the hard issues. It's no surprise that once Sarah Pochin's report was published, the public response was immediate. Social media exploded with criticism, satire, and a growing sense of frustration. People are questioning what, if anything, Homewards has actually accomplished, beyond generating flattering headlines for the future king. And while this PR-driven approach to activism is being exposed, there's an obvious contrast in how Meghan Markle and Prince Harry handle their charitable work. Away from the spotlight, they have been quietly funding projects that directly help people in need. Meghan's work with pregnant women facing housing insecurity, Harry's ongoing efforts to support veterans and promote mental health. Their focus is on tangible results, not photo opportunities. This contrast isn't just about individual royals, it reflects a larger issue. What do we expect from the monarchy in today's Britain? Is it enough for them to simply show up and smile for the cameras? Or should they be using their immense privilege and influence to advocate for real change? Prince William had a unique chance with Homewards to show true leadership. He could have tackled the structural problems behind homelessness, used his voice to demand reform, and worked with communities in ways that went beyond PR. Instead, he chose optics over outcomes, safety over substance. That choice sends a message about the priorities of the modern royal institution. It is still clinging to outdated notions of image management, rather than evolving into a force for meaningful change. And it relies on a press that too often allows this dynamic to continue unchallenged. But things are changing. Thanks to voices like Sarah Pochin's, more people are starting to see through the veneer. The public is less willing to tolerate empty gestures from the royal family. They want to see genuine action, real empathy, and, a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. The growing backlash against homewards is just the tip of the iceberg. If the monarchy wants to remain relevant in a society facing rising inequality and social hardship, it needs to change its approach. The public is demanding substance, not spectacle. Until that shift happens, the criticism will only grow louder. And this channel will be here, calling out hypocrisy, amplifying honest journalism, and honestly keeping these conversations alive. Thank you so much for watching. If you value this kind of independent voice, please subscribe and stay tuned, because there is so much more that deserves to be uncovered. I'll see you in the next video.